Hey y'all, this is Stephanie with Large Family Diabetic Cooking. Today we are going to be making Parker House rolls. And this isn't my recipe, this is Bobby Flay's recipe. So if you want the exact recipe, you're going to have to go on Food Network to get the, well, I have the recipe, but I tweaked it a little bit. So to get the exact recipe, you will have to download the recipe. And this recipe comes out a little bit sticky, and I made some ahead of time so I can show you what they're supposed to look like. Now these are the ones I made a couple weeks ago, and I'm going to be making some for Thanksgiving. Except the only difference is I will not be baking these up, because I found that if I bake them ahead of time, they don't last. My grandson, Alex, loves them, and so does his dad, Michael. So, they don't last. So, what we're going to do is, here I have 12 cups of flour, but this dough does come out sticky, so I may have to add a couple more cups of flour. I got another 25-pound bag over here that I got from Sam's Club. I have my yeast blooming over here. That is a half a cup of, well actually I'm doubling the recipe, so that's 1 cup of warm water, 5 tablespoons, or teaspoons, 5 teaspoons of yeast, and a teaspoon of sugar to help, activate it. Then I've got 14 cups of flour in here, because the last time I made this, the dough was extremely sticky, and it came to around 14 cups of flour. And then I have 3 cups of water, or milk, 3 cups of milk, and 2 sticks of butter in here, and I melted it in the microwave. It is not hot at all. And then I need to add 6 eggs, 3 teaspoons of salt, because it's actually a teaspoon. Well, let me give you the recipe. It is 1.5 cups of milk, 1 stick of butter, a half a cup of sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of yeast, a half a cup of warm water, 3 large eggs beaten, 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and 6 cups of flour. So, and all we're going to do is just roll them and get them in the freezer to stop the, because I want them to freeze, flash freeze, and then I'm going to put them in a bag so that way we have them for Thanksgiving. The ones that I have I have 2 of these sitting out, and I'm shocked that they're still sitting here. Yesterday was a Steeler game. I did a lot of repeat appetizers, the ones that they had asked for, so I didn't record that. So we're going to do this now. So we're going to put our milk and butter in here. What did I do with my towel? I must have forgot it. There's one right here. Okay, then I'm going to add my yeast. And I'm going to show you that my yeast is good because it's already foamed up on top. So since we are doubling this recipe, I don't need to do any more. Alright. And then we're going to do our 6 eggs. I don't need this anymore, so I will use this. Let me move this out of the way for a minute, so that way you can see what I'm doing. We're going to get our eggs, crack them and get them in here, and then we're going to mix that all together. After I add in, I got to figure out, I think a half a cup of sugar. On here. Hold on. Alright. A half a cup of sugar on here is 1/4 of a cup. So since we doubled it, it's actually a half a cup. So I'm going to add an actual half a cup. There's 3. And then I need 3 more. Oh, and you will use large eggs. Alright, let me put this in the garbage, this in the sink, and then we're going to add our half a cup of sugar. And then we're going to mix, and then we're going to start adding in our flour. I have a 1/4 cup, so I will be using 2 1/4 cup. And I will be using Splenda Sugar Blend. So, I think I'm going to consider changing to different sugars, because as I was reading this, there is 4 total sugars and 4 added sugars to Splenda. So anybody who is using this, you still have to, check your sugar and make sure that everything's okay and all of that. But I'm considering on switching to Swerve, because Splenda is a man-made sugar, and Swerve is natural. Alright, so let's get this in here, and we're going to get this mixing. Yeah. We're not adding our salt yet. Not yet. This needs to, because if you add your salt now, it could kill your yeast. You want to get some of your flour mixed in before you add your flour. You want to add your flour before you add your salt, is what I was trying to say. So I'm going to put you guys on hold for a little bit. I want to at least get some of the flour mixed in, and then I'll bring you back and add the salt. Hey y'all, I'm still working on I'm still working on the rolls. I got my other little grandbaby here. Say hi. Her just woke up, all happy, looking like Rainbow Bright. You ready to go play with Alex? Yeah? Okay. Go ahead. May May is still sleeping. That child can sleep. But I started early in the morning. Mom and Dad have had to go to court in regards to Isabella. So her biological mother is just not doing what she's supposed to be doing. She hasn't. I'm just going to leave it at that. Because I don't know everything. I only know bits and pieces, so. And I want to make sure that it's okay to tell the story before I tell you all. What, baby? Is he done? Is he done yet? Grandma made you some pancakes. Do you want some pancakes in a little bit? Okay, as soon as I get this done, Grandma will, and get it ready to rise. They're in the freezer. I'll pull some out and get them in the microwave for you. Okay? All right, go play. All right, now I need to add. I need to add 3 teaspoons of salt. Because I've got a good bit of flour in here, so it's safe to add the salt. Because remember, I doubled the recipe, so I got to add 3 teaspoons of salt. Alright, let me take this off a second. As you can see, the dough is still runny, and I've gone through half of the flour already. All right. Let me add my 3 teaspoons of salt, and I may have to open up that bag of flour to add more flour. There's 1. Sprinkle some more flour. Go play. That. Put this on low. Never, when you're making bread or like cookie dough or anything like that, you do not, especially a batter that is extremely thick, like a dough gets. You do not want to run your mixer past 2 or 4. You do not want to run it past that. You want to run it as low as possible. Yes, it does take time, but if you run it higher than that, you're going to burn out your mixer. And these things are expensive. Alright, so I'm going to let you go, or pause you a minute, and I'll be right back. Okay, the dough is still too sticky, so now what we're going to do is we're going to put it in this bowl, and we're going to add a little bit more flour, because apparently 14 cups was not enough. And as you can see, it is still extremely, extremely sticky. So I'm only going to add a little bit at a time, and I'm going to knead it in this bowl. And then see where we end up. But all right, let me get this in the sink. All right, now we're going to add some flour. And what did I do with? Oh, I put it in the sink, so I gotta pull out the other one. All right, so I'm going to stick a cup of flour in here, and then we're just going to knead it in little by little. We're going to do half now and knead it in there. And then we're going to cover this with foil because I'm completely out of plastic wrap. And let it rise. I'm not going to put a whole lot of flour in this because I don't want it to taste like flour. Because if you put too much flour in it, then it's going to taste like flour. And I'm not going to do that. Okay, it's getting less sticky now. Yeah, I needed one more cup of flour. So that's 15 cups of flour. So that was 6 cups of flour, so that's 6.5 cups of flour per because we doubled it, per recipe. It's still a little bit sticky, but I don't want to add any more flour. I do not. So when I get ready to roll these out, I might add a little bit of flour to my hands to keep them from sticking. But that's about it. So I'm going to cover this with foil, and it's got to rise for an hour, and then I will bring you guys back, and then we're going to roll them up and get them in the freezer. And I'll see you guys in an hour. Hey y'all, welcome back. It's been an hour, and my dough is seeping out. So we're going to pull this off and punch it down. And then we're going to roll it into balls and get it into rolls and get it in the I wasn't expecting it. I guess I should have sprayed this. Alright, let me spray my hands. And we're going to punch this down, and then we're going to start rolling this into balls. Now, we're going to roll these into balls. And then we're going to put them on our tray over here. And then they're going to go in the freezer, because I need these to flash freeze. Make sure that's too big. A little bit more. Okay. Alright, I needed to make sure that I was recording. Yeah. And I should get, because I doubled the recipe, it says I should get 24 out of each batch, so that would make it 48. So so my hands are starting to get sticky again, so I'm going to spray my hands and continue rolling. So as soon as we get this tray rolled, I'm going to get it in the freezer. So I will come back as soon as I have this full tray rolled. Be right back. Alright y'all, here we go. There's the first 24. I'm going to get these in the freezer, And then I'm going to finish rolling out the rest of them, and I'm going to flash freeze them. And then I'm going to put them in Ziploc freezer bags, and they're going to go in the freezer, and then our rolls will be ready for Thanksgiving. All I have to do is pull them out, put them on a tray, let them thaw, let them rise for a half hour, 45 minutes, and then pop them in the oven, and we've got fresh Parker House rolls. And then the next thing I'm going to show you how to do is I'm going to show you how to make honey butter. The kind of butter that they make. It's a copycat version, but the kind that they make at the Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse. The Texas Roadhouse Steakhouse. Whatever. There. Their butter is bombastic. It's so freaking good. Oh, and then but I have a copycat version of that. So we're going to make that so that way we have that on Thanksgiving also. And I'm just going to pop it in the freezer, and then that way it is ready for when we're ready to have. I might either do it then or do it in the next couple days and put it in the freezer, or I might wait until the night before and make it. But whichever one I decide. So I'm going to finish rolling these up, and then I will see you guys on Wednesday. And we are going to make our my sweet potato souffle. And then after that, I'm going to show you how I make, because you guys see me make my sweet potato souffle, but for those that are new and do not know how to make it, I'm going to show you how to make it. I have macaroni and cheese in the freezer that is already done. You guys can pull up the video where I show you how to make my southern macaroni and cheese. But I'm going to show you how I make my vegetable medley, and it's really good. I'm going to put the first part of it together and get it in the freezer, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to save the topping for that day. So I will see you all later. I have new subscribers, and I forgot to bring all my paperwork with me. So I will see you on Wednesday, and I will let you all know who my new subscribers are. All right. I'll see you all later, buddy. Later.